Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today's video we're going to be working on the RCZ-R. So I want to try and tackle the oil issues with this car and service the engine. So that means we're going to be refitting the original tensioner. I'll show you why in a minute, or I'll explain why. We're going to be fitting a new rocker cover gasket, and we're going to do an oil filter change as well. So my main thing is getting this off this ramp, because I've got another stolen recovered car coming with no keys, so I need the ramp to be able to get it off. So I need to get this car off. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So as always, if you like these videos, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Big thumbs up, and let's just dive in and get on with it. Okie dokie. So this is pretty much where we left it on the last video, where we discovered that the oil was spewing out of the chain tensioner, which is there's the chain tensioner, because it was finger tight. No idea how it's come loose. I'm guessing it wasn't torqued up properly to start with. But we also have this really nice oil leak as well from the rocker cover gasket, so we're going to deal with that whilst we're in here. Now, like I said, I do want to do an oil service, so we need to get this engine up to temperature. So what I'm thinking is, like I just mentioned, I am going to reuse this tensioner, and that's because all the tensioners I can find are aftermarket eBay jobbers, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I'd much rather use a genuine original item that, you know, as far as at the end of the day the car was running fine, it was just leaking oil. But what we will do is we'll replace the seal, the copper seal, and we will torque this up to, as far as I know, 65 Newton meters is the only figures that I could find. So hopefully that's right. That was the old washer, the old seal, copper seal. So that's going to go on first. We will then get the car running, and we'll also, yeah, we can put all the engine mount back on as well. Get all the engine mount back on, get the engine off the jack, because then we can get it running, get the engine warm, get the oil warm, get the lift up, sump plug out, and then whilst the oil's draining, we're going to tackle this rocker cover gasket. Looks relatively simple really. Most of the fixings are accessible. This pipe here is a bit fiddly. It doesn't really move out the way, and where it fits onto the intake manifold down there, it's pretty much impossible to get to. So I'm hoping I can just, you know, lift it up high enough like that. It's a reasonable amount of space up there, and we can wiggle the rocker cover out, shall we say. You're just talking about these 10mm fixings all the way around. They'll be all the way around it. So it's going to be a case of taking coil packs out. Spark plugs can probably stay in, but these bits of plugs, any pipe work off the top, after that heat shield off. But it's looking like it's a pretty simple job really. So I've got all my bits and pieces here. We have our air filter, we've got a new rocker cover gasket, we've got some oil, and we've got an oil filter, and I've got some Tiger Seal equivalent there to rebond in the rear parking sensor housing, so we can do that at some point as well. So getting on a bit of time lapse, I'm going to get this put back together, get the tensioner in, engine mount on, and hopefully it'll run. Right, so we've got the engine mounts back on and the tensioner is in. So let's get the trusty little auto vit and start this up. And now hopefully we can get it warmed up and get the oil draining whilst we whip off that rocker cover gasket. Well, that is the plan. First of all, now I need to find out if the oil's still leaking. I'm happy with all that. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to run it. So, not concerned about the rocker cover gasket leak. It's a decent leak, but what we're concerned about is what's underneath. So, let's send it up and have a look. Now it's obviously going to be really wet under here still, because we haven't cleaned it up yet, but I can't see any more oil coming down, and it was literally gushing out, weren't it? It wasn't just a drip, it was like a stream. So I think we're good there to allow it to warm up now. But obviously I will keep a close eye on it for a few minutes now whilst I watch it warm up. And if all is good, we'll crack on to another bit of time lapse where we will get that rocker cover gasket changed. So let's crack on with that. Alright, there we go. I'll tell you what, it was tricky with this in place. I think it'd be wise to figure out a way to get that off if you're going to do it yourself, because there's a good chance you can break it, and I've got to get that back in there yet. But yeah, we're off, and everything looks pretty nice in here. No unusual wear or anything. Quite happy. Now unfortunately we do have a problem. and that is that our rocker cover gasket is the wrong one. I suspected so much. Yeah, there's a little bit of brown marking you can see. There are a little bit of what you would call mayonnaise in the cam cover, only due to condensation. It's literally just on the top of the cam cover. You can see yourself, you know, the oil actually in the engine is perfectly fine. Obviously, because it's been sat here, so well, it's been sat for like over a month since it's ran, really. So if you think about all the condensation built up on the underside of this cam cover, there'll have been a lot of moisture there. Oil mixed with it creates that milky substance, that's all. But the oil that's come out is perfectly fine, so there's no issues. It's just that's why. It's a little bit brown in there, I need to clean it again. So all I can really do now is clean up all around where the new seal's going to go. And that's going to have to be it right now. I'm going to have to go and find another gasket. At least I can compare now. I'll take the old one off and get some reference points off it for the next one. You see, this one, it's nowhere near. It's for a Peugeot RCZ. And I gave them the registration. But it's nothing like it. You see how mine's got a square there. And another square there, and another square there. There's none of them on this anywhere, and there's nothing that lines up with this ridge, with that, and there's no part of it that drops down. See how it drops and goes across and back up. This is pretty much a perfectly flat gasket, and also they're supposed to be for around the spark plugs. You see mine, that centrepiece there is that, but on mine it's separate completely because there's so different levels. So that's not right. Completely wrong. It's a shame. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I thought when I rang the parts place and gave them the reg and they said, yeah, we've got one, I thought, I'm not sure. How different is this rocker cover gasket any different to a normal 200 brake horsepower RCZ? I don't know. It's the same 1.6 engine as far as I know, so you would have thought the rocker cover was exactly the same, wouldn't you? But I don't think it is. Well, it might, probably is, but I don't know, whatever. The fact of the matter is it's not right. So I'll have a clean up here and I will continue this video as soon as I have rocker cover gasket, which is going to be a pain really, because like I said, I need to get this car off the ramp to be able to get this next stone recovered vehicle on, basically. So yeah, I'm gonna have to stop there for a bit. We'll continue in this video, but I don't know how many days it's going to be. But like I said, I'll be back as soon as I can, and we'll continue and get this off. Fingers crossed. Okay, we are finally back on the Peugeot. Now I have got the rocker cover gasket, so let's just get on, get this gasket swapped over, get the rocker cover back on, and then we must remember to do our oil and filter before we try to start this thing, because it's been over 3 weeks, so I must remember. There it all is, all ready to be put back together, pretty much. Does need a wipe down again, actually. Perhaps I didn't do these middle ones, I don't remember. It's the problem with leaving things so long in between, you kind of forget where you're up to. So I'm going to do this quickly off camera, get it put back together, because I have just noticed I haven't got a lot of battery life on this GoPro, so we need to be careful. So yeah, I'll get the top back on. You saw me pull it apart, didn't you? So I'll get the top back on. We'll crack on, get some oil in it, and hopefully it's back up and running with no oil leaks after the fiasco with the timing chain tensioner. Okay, so we're all back together. And I've had it running for a while as well, and it runs perfect now. Runs great. No more oil leaks from the Rockaguvy gasket. No more oil leaks from the chain tensioner. Probably hear the rain outside, it's a bit loud, sorry. I'll just start it up quickly for you. There we go. No lights other than a low tyre. Yeah, but like I said, she's got a bit of heat in her. Sounds great. So we're getting there with this car now. We're getting there. What we got left? Well, all the front's fine. So on the back, so all we got to do really is to do whatever we need to do to that diffuser to repair it, because I can't get another one. Number plate, I don't know, a few sensors, whatnot, and we're pretty much there. Put the badges back on, because I've just done the service as well, obviously, so that's done. And then this can go. Right, we're going to call it a do there. Thanks for watching as always, much appreciated. Sorry I've not been around much recently, but I've just been working so much, no spare time. So I'm doing my best to do what I can, but it's going to be a bit bitty for the future for a while now, if and when I have time to do a video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.